I'd say one of the great lessons that I learned from Saul was at the end of season 4. I was held captive, held prisoner. They were going to exchange me for some terrorists, and he wanted to take his life rather than have his life mean that other people would get free who were terrorists and go out and do more harm to humanity. And what I learned from that was that who's the bad guy, who are the good guys? And he looked in the mirror and he went, I'm the enemy. The line between good and evil runs through each one of us.
If the line of evil runs through all of us, there is still free will. Not every single person causes the death of other people for political ends.
But anyone who causes the death of someone else is placing themselves above the law and thinking that they are God. No human being is God. And it is essential that we stop this paradigm of violence that Saul has learned. That's what he learned at the ends of season 4. And that is what he tries to remember every day, and that's what Mandy tries to remember. And by that I mean it hasn't worked. It hasn't worked, this violence, an eye for an eye. And the new paradigm, we have to come up with a new paradigm, and that's what Saul is clear about. And what is that new paradigm if war isn't working? War, you spend $4 trillion on this war. What is being spent on the marginalized people in humanity, all of these young Muslim, wonderful young Muslim men and women that have no education, no opportunity, no good schooling. And so what do? They look for someone else who's saying, we'll give you a better life. Why aren't we taking that money that's used for bombs and making schools and hospitals and homes and opportunity? Why?
Well, now you're putting me in a position. You're putting me in a position to defend bombs right now, and I'm not going to defend bombs. But I will say
there are a lot of people that will, because bombs make a lot of money for a lot of people. Education.
That is true.
Education doesn't make much money.
But there are people here in the United States who say, why would we spend the money over there to do that? Because we're not taking care of our own roads, our own bridges, our own schools, our own people. There are poor people here.
We certainly need to do that too. With $4 trillion, you could do a lot of good here.
We need to do that here as well.
Yes, sir.
Now you're famous for your preparation, and did you do like a ride-along with any CIA directors? Because I know you narrated the Spy Masters. Did you get to know any of the people who actually had the role that Saul Berenson has?
Yes, I have, and I know one very well, and the writers and Claire and myself go every year in January, and we sit with all the heads of national security, CIA, other security forces, White House, etc., and they come in 2 hours at a time, 3 days straight for 10-hour days, lunch and breakfast, and they unload everything to us. We're actually asking them, what are you most frightened of? What concerns you the most?
And do these conversations calm you down, Mandy Patinkin, or do they frighten you?
They frighten you, and it's more information than any human being needs to know. And may I please say a couple of things about fear, which we are all dealing with all over the world. Fear is a very healthy thing to have. No one can get away without it. You got to have fear to run out of a burning building. But to fear-monger, and this fear-mongering and hatred that's going on by people running for the President of the United States is so misguided. It is important that we open up our arms and our hearts to refugees that are fleeing a horrifying situation.
I understand you went down to Greece when you guys were on break,
yes,
shooting to actually help some of the Syrian refugees.
Yes, I did. I finished shooting, and I've been living in this fictional world. Let me just say, yes, I went to Greece. I forgot. Remember, I'm on TV, and I'm not going to be out here for an hour. So,
I'm leaving.
I know.
But you can stay.
I know. I went to Greece and I met some of these extraordinary families. I met the people in Greece who opened their arms and homes and hotels to these people, 500,000 refugees that have come across since the beginning of this crisis. And then when we got back here, called the International Rescue Committee. There are 24 or 26 all around the country. Find out where some Syrian refugees are in your neighborhood. We have found a family in Elizabeth, New Jersey. We're meeting them tomorrow. We're taking them around to New York. We've given them clothes. We've asked them what they need. And you can do it too. And I guarantee you, please believe me, I guarantee you, when you meet these families, these women and children, you won't be afraid. You will not be afraid. And I just ask all of us to remember something, that when I was growing up in the 50s, everyone was terrified about atomic bombs. Everyone. Well, atomic bombs are still here, more than you ever imagined. And no one's thinking about it anymore, because humanity has taken over. And humanity is a good thing when it's exercised. And I ask people to exercise their humanity more than they've ever imagined. Well, use your imagination and how you can make the world a better place. And bomb all of these marginalized people with opportunity, with everything that I've said. And I guarantee you, why? No one's tried it, so they can all say it wouldn't work. And if we can make life good for all of those people, then I believe people will stop thinking that the West is so evil.
My second question. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Mandy Patinkin stars in Showtime's Homeland.